If you want proof, then I'll provide it. I'm transmitting several classified Tal Shiar files to your ship now. Read through them, analyze them yourself, and then you'll see the truth. Ditan and his kind are terrorists and a threat to the survival of the Romulan people. After that, I hope you'll reconsider your options. The Tal Shiar are trying to help the Romulan people, and you should be fighting for us. We've been fighting for you all this time.
Right. First of all, we got to visit our ship's ready room, and I the Tal Shiar files in my there. And today's ships, we get the Patronic shield away, which is a decent shield for this at this level. The shield, the field stabilizing singularity car, which at this moment in time might be probably the best thing for us, because we've got a somewhat decent shield at the moment, and we got the Harpane torpedo, which is one of the which is from various other the Days Machine mission. Well, let's get going. And normally I would warp out, but we need to go and visit our bridge now. On PC, bridge is is in the menu up across the bottom with this bottom triangle here, and it says visit Starship Bridge. Not exactly the easiest to see, but you have to take my word for it. But here goes. Now, welcome to the Romulan bridge. Now, I don't know why we've got a Starfleet tactical officer here, but it's probably because there was some bug here. But you see Haven, Beryl, Latra, who's one of my bridge officers, and Cetera on here, and Terran as well. I think we've only got those 5 officers, so it's picked a random person to fit in to fit that slot. So as much fun as we have, we've got here is our duty officer contact, which allows you to contact anyone in our region to arrange our duty officers to do stuff. This is basically the same thing as visiting them as visiting the duty officer menu and visiting department heads next to here. Got to mention that. Didn't pick. I've got to slot those in and run all these out. You can see there's just ridiculous amounts of stuff. It only does a lot of duty officer missions during the time. Actually, sorry, that adds a lot on my other characters. Now, I've got where my bridge beam is, because last time I've actually done this mission was, well, last time I'd been on my ready beam was to do this mission, and here it is. And it was on the. Needs my ready beam. Yeah, I believe that's Vernet. Could be Vernet. And here's the account bank. This is only available for characters for people who've got the account bank feature purchased. I happen to. And here's my desk, and here's the library files. So now this console will activate up for 2 different missions at the current thing. So and both of them involve Tal Shiar files. So this is marked Chava. So let's just decipher Chava's files. Now let's start with the Chatham intelligence file. Alright, editing Mac here. I'm going to basically say I'm going to speed. You're going to be what region where it's going 3, 4, 5 times faster than it's supposed to be. Basically, I spent about full 20 minutes going through each one of these and fiddling around with it. This is more of a reading question, and you can, if you have the answers in front of you, you'll be able to get them a lot quicker. I will say that this is, with amount of text in this mission, it does not make good watching because all you're seeing is this screen. So basically, you find out that most of these files put the Romulan Republic in bad light, but fixing them files puts the Romulan Republic in a good light, and most of the issues have been basically just flat out incorrect. So yeah. There is one. Still supplies. Yeah, that looks a bit more appropriate. So let's go. Consult our bridge officers.
Captain, we're getting 2 different stories here. One from Chava, and one from these documents. Analysis of the files shows that either Chava is trying deliberately to mislead us, or that she's being misled herself. Since she seems to firmly believe what she's telling us, I'm not completely comfortable disregarding her information out of hand. I recommend that we speak to Commander Tal Mera on Drozana Station. She has contacts in the intelligence community that we don't. She should be able to either confirm or deny our findings.
Right. Okay. Okay, guys. Take us for Drozana. Oh, before I actually go to Drozana, I forgot to mention, you've got to leave the bridge before you fly there. It's a weird issue that technically you are not actually out here in space when you're actually on your bridge. So let's go to. So let's go to Drozana.
Welcome to Drozana. You're cleared for docking. We have everything you need for shore leave, and a few things that you didn't even know you wanted. Shopping, drinking, dining, entertainment. You'll find it all here. And don't forget the 77th rule of acquisition.
If you break it, I'll charge you for it. Sorry. Yeah, I've heard this one so many times, it's a bit around, so let's dock. Welcome to Drozana. Now this is the only place where all factions can actually go around and do their stuff daily and do their stuff. As it's Drozana, you quite often see things like people dancing on tables. Now this is so now in one of the down here is our informant, and I think she's got a friend to keep eye on her. And I can see why. At least you get to, this is about a good place to get information. So Commander,
Was there something you needed?
can I get your information on some Tal Shiar files?
Tal Shiar files. I'm sure there's a good story behind how you came into possession of these. Let's see what you have.
So here are the files. See, what do you think?
What sort of information do you need? Personally, I'd regard anything given to you by a Tal Shiar operative with suspicion. They are masters of misinformation and misdirection.
I need to fact check these documents. Some information in them don't seem to line up.
We can do that. Show me what you have and what parts of them are troubling you.
Okay, let's start with the Chilak intelligence file.
I've seen some interesting works of fiction, but nothing that compares to this. Deton and Lortrix working together? On a Riemann mining colony? I don't think so. Can you see Deton in a dilithium mine? And Lortrix was storing weapons for Deton? Why? There have to be better places we can stash supplies than in an enemy colony. And this section about Deton working with Starfleet to target colonies for terrorist attacks is ridiculous. Neither Deton or the Federation would do such a thing. I'm detecting that sections of the file have been altered. That's probably why it reads like a bad spy story.
It didn't make sense to me either.
Deton was talking to the Federation about colonies near our borders, but it wasn't to target them for attack. It was to discern which ones had the greatest need for agricultural assistance. A lot of the newer colonies are having a rough time trying to establish themselves. Deton believes that the more prosperous colonies have a responsibility to help support others. That's why he was talking to the Federation. He was asking if they would be willing to assist as well. Unfortunately, once the rumor of terrorist attacks entered the mix, the Federation Council broke off aid talks. And I'm not surprised that Lortrix was aiming weapons at our targets, although I don't think he was doing so at the request of the Hirogen. The Tal Shiar has a way of getting into everything, and we know that they were monitoring that colony. A Tal Shiar operative could have manipulated Lortrix into aiming some of the weapons at Romulan Republic targets. If they were fired, then we'd lose big, and a neutral colony would be blamed for the attack. Also, I think it was a coincidence that Deton and Lortrix were acquainted. Lortrix once worked for the Riemann Mining Cooperative, but he wasn't exactly a model employee. In fact, he was one of the leaders of a strike that turned violent. The Riemanns brought in a group of negotiators to help end the crisis. Deton was one of the people they invited. He helped negotiate a settlement, and Lortrix was one of the representatives of the workers during those negotiations. I doubt they've ever spoken to one another again once the strike ended.
What do you think of all these changes?
I think the Tal Shiar are conducting quite an effective smear campaign against Deton and our movement. It's our responsibility to see through their deceptions.
Can I show you another file?
We can do that. Show me what you have and what parts of them are troubling you.
Let's show the Vernet file.
I'm detecting several abnormalities in this file. It looks like portions of it have been altered. We should corroborate these reports in order to determine which facts are actually true and which are Tal Shiar fabrications.
I don't know what to believe.
Here's what we know and can confirm from our files. Deton did smuggle crates to Viranot before the attack on your colony, but they were carrying ship parts, not weapons. And he did more to help the colony without drawing excess attention. It was our group that helped your people get the water reclamation equipment they needed to support a healthy population. And yes, we spent a great deal of time and money gathering information about both the Federation and the Klingon Empire. But we're not planning an attack. Why would we? Instead, we're gathering all the intel we can about the political climates of both factions.
Can you profession this file with our intel to provide context?
Deton has been working with colony leaders for years, including the Maori and others at Viranot. However, since the Empress and the Tal Shiar often retaliate against people who are friendly to our movement, in the past, we've tried to keep those contacts as quiet as possible. Your colony had some talented engineers who were willing to help flotilla ships. Deton provided crates full of ship parts, smuggled from other friendly settlements. Your engineers repaired Allied ships who needed help. But Titan is a man of peace. I can't ever see him wanting to smuggle weapons, especially not to a civilian site.
Indeed.
Of course, because the people at Viranot risked their safety to help our ships, Titan helped them in return. One of the ways the Tal Shiar keeps control over colony worlds is by denying or diverting needed supplies. Before the attack, Viranot's population had outgrown its water treatment capabilities. They tried to acquire another water filtration unit, but were blocked by lost shipments, denied paperwork, and other bureaucratic hassles. It could have meant disease and deprivation for your people. So the Maori reached out to Titan. He provided the water reclamation equipment Viranot needed, and even helped the colonists conceal it so it couldn't be damaged in a convenient accident.
Indeed.
And yes, we do spend a great deal of time and effort gathering intel on both Starfleet and Klingon Empire, but we're not studying their defenses. We're learning about their political climates. Our relationships with the Klingons and Starfleet are still very fragile. They're being strengthened by people like you. But a shift in attitudes on the High Council or the Federation Council could mean disaster for us. The more we know about what's happening, the better we can react to it.
So what do you think of all these changes?
I'm not saying that Titan is a complete innocent. None of us are. The political information could be used to sway decisions in our favor. The ship part and water reclamation equipment were smuggled illegally. But you have to look at the intent behind Titan's actions. He's trying to help people, not tear them down.
So you know the file?
We can do that. Show me what you have and what parts of them are troubling
Let's
you.
try to get into the file.
I didn't realize that the Tal Shiar had transferred prisoners to the Kinkuthanza system penal colony. Probably because there isn't a penal colony in the Kinkuthanza system. That's not the only discrepancy I'm detecting in this file. There's distinct signs of tampering. We need to figure out what they altered, and why.
I saw discrepancies as well.
Here's what I know. Most Tal Shiar prisoners fall off the grid completely. We don't know where they're taken, or what's being done to them, and that troubles Titan a great deal. We have, however, heard of a Tal Shiar facility called Installation 18 that appears to be a holding facility. Some prisoners would likely be taken there. As far as I know, your friend's sister has never been in the Theban system, much less been captured there. We did lose a militia ship there a few weeks ago, and one of my agents, Sub-Commander Avron, is still in Tal Shiar custody. Avron was trying to steal supplies from a Tal Shiar convoy when he was captured. It was risky, but they had critical supplies we couldn't get any other way.
Can you cross-reference this file with our intention to gain some of the context?
We don't know what the Tal Shiar is doing with their prisoners, but a lot more people are missing than we can account for. We have, however, found several references to a place called Installation 18. We're still tracking down where this facility is and what they're doing there, but we know that prisoners are taken there for an unknown purpose. Rina Kev hasn't shown up on any of our lists of the missing, but I have found references to someone with that name being a crew member on a cargo transport. As far as I know, the ship she was working on has never been to the Theban system. But if your friend can't find her, I'd be concerned. The Tal Shiar has a nasty habit of making people disappear. We did lose a ship in the Theban system recently, a small scout vessel. Its commander was one of my agents, and we have confirmed that Sub-Commander Avron is being held in Tal Shiar custody. Sub-Commander Avron was there doing reconnaissance for me. Tal Shiar convoys pass through that region of space, and there was one convoy that had vital supplies we need. The plan was a long shot at best, but Avron knew the risks when he took the assignment. Now that Avron is in custody and the convoy has made it safely to its destination, all we can do is try to figure out how to soldier on without the components that were in those ships.
What do you think make of all these changes?
Did Datan know about the plan to attack a Tal Shiar convoy? Yes. Does that make us criminals and terrorists? That's something you're going to have to decide for yourself. We can do that. Show me what you have and what parts of them are troubling you.
What do you think of what do you make of all this?
We're fighting for our independence and the future of the Romulan race. We're short on supplies and allies and beset by enemies that see nothing wrong with murder, torture, and kidnapping. And they call us the terrorists. We've had to make some difficult decisions. Some of them have led us down roads that none of us wanted to take. But nothing we've done is anything as terrible as what the Tal Shiar is accusing Datan of doing. There are no innocents in a war, and that includes Datan. At least his motivations are clear. And I can't see what the Tal Shiar has to gain by framing him for these crimes.
Thank you for your help.
Captain, Chava's convinced that these files are genuine. She wouldn't be pushing us this hard otherwise. We need to sit down and show her the discrepancies we've discovered, preferably in front of a Tal Shiar computer, so we can open her eyes to the truth.
Indeed.
If we contact her and say we're ready to join the Tal Shiar, but we need to discuss these files first, maybe she'll take us somewhere where we can prove to her that she's been lied to. There's a subspace communications hub in the lounge on Drozana Station's observation level that we can use to contact Chava.
Alright, so let's go and find this communication hub. So yeah, we'll that's our GPL converter. So let's contact Chava.
I wasn't expecting to hear from you so soon. Are you ready to join the Tal Shiar?
I'm ready to join you in the Tal Shiar.
I take it that everything I provided checked out to your satisfaction?
Mostly, but I want to go over the data you sent. I need assurances that this is genuine.
That's a fair request. The Tal Shiar maintains a clandestine network of satellites throughout the quadrant. There's a listening post that's part of this network in the Aja system. It's near your current position and off the trade routes, so we should be able to meet privately. It's also connected to the rest of the Tal Shiar network, so we can go over the data in detail. I'm glad you've seen the light. You're joining the right side.
I'll see you there. Okay, before we leave Drozana, we should consult Commander Tamara. She might have more information about the Aza system. And don't blame you. If I told you that it was they're in a bit of a fight, and girls is an XP.
Was there something you needed?
Do you know anything about the Aza system?
It's remote and has little strategic value. If you're planning some shore leave after this is over, I'd suggest you go to Ryza instead.
Indeed, I better we'll go to Ryza for holiday, but so the Aza system...
I can tell you, you're probably flying into a trap. The Tal Shiar invests a great deal of time and effort to spin a web of lies. They don't look favorably on people who try to expose them for what they are. If you're going to go, at least take some backup.
Can you contact the KDF and organize that for me?
That won't be too difficult. You've made a lot of friends. Send out a subspace burst if you need some assistance in the Aza system. They'll be waiting for your signal.
If you run into any roadblocks, talk to Dan. He's proven himself to be with my ally. So, now we can do a bit of shopping, but I'll just sort out some stuff before we go. So,
Captain, we're detecting another ship in the system. It's Charva's ship, the IRW Aethra. They're signaling to us that Chava has already beamed over to the listening post, and that you and I should join her. But they say only us. We can't take a full away team.
that's what I expected, so let's beam across into the post. Yeah. So let's beam across by the listening post.
I hope we're able to make Charva see reason. She doesn't seem willing to accept that Tal Shiar is at the root of many of the problems of the Romulan people. It's not going to be easy to convince her.
Indeed. So, hello Chava.
I am so glad to hear that you are considering my offer of joining the Tal Shiar. They offer safety and stability to all Romulans. You will not regret your decision.
Chava and I would like to work more closely with you, but first we need to go summon this data with you.
I cannot blame you for wanting to do your due diligence. Seeing as you are about to join our ranks, I do not think the Tal Shiar would mind if we took a look at some of the intelligence files used to generate the reports I gave you. Just do not tell any of my superiors that we did this. You do not have clearance yet.
Of course. So, just look at the things. Chava,
This cannot be right.
what can be right?
It appears as if some of the information that was included in the report I gave you does not line up with what is here. Several of the facts have been changed either here or in the report, and the results skew any conclusions that could be drawn.
We should check another file. Checking on Vernat and their logs. Another issue of Java?
But I thought,
What's wrong?
these recordings don't line up with the report either. What's going on here? Who could have tampered with this evidence?
We still have one more file to check.
Has this file been tampered with?
What do you mean?
This is the same story as the others. This evidence doesn't match the report I shared with you. You knew about this, didn't you? That's why you had me look at these files. Did you alter this data to make me look bad? Are you trying to sabotage my career with the Tal Shiar?
I promise you, I did not change anything. I haven't even touched the console yet. Okay, this is not good. Greetings, Centurion.
We were sent here by Commander Morris to take you into custody. You are accused of undermining the Romulan Empire and crimes unbefitting of a Romulan. Tovan Kev, you are accused of aiding a known fugitive and conspiring against the Tal Shiar. Charva, you are relieved of command of your ship, pending the outcome of a court-martial. If you're lucky, that's all that will happen to you for betraying the Tal Shiar.
I'm not going anywhere. And forgot that we got someone at the back.
We need to get out of here and return to our ship before the Tal Shiar send any more troops down here. Charva, you should come with us. You won't be safe with the Tal Shiar.
Yep, free to beam up.
I've been informed by my Tal Shiar superiors that you and Charva are now to be considered enemies of the state. My orders are to apprehend you, alive if possible, but dead will work almost as well. Surrender, and I will be merciful to your crew. Resist, and let their deaths be on your head.
I need more than one that just one ship to take me down. Oof.
If you insist, how about a fleet of Tal Shiar warships? Will that convince you to surrender? Think of your crew. Spare them the pain and suffering this meaningless gesture will cause.
You didn't think I'd show up here alone, did you? Our Klingon friends have checked in. There's a cloaking signal. Signal. And here we go. Well, I knew that first one would be a bit of fame. Looks like our last big ship's about to go.
Captain, Sub-Commander Nadell is commanding the RRW Dahu. She has requested we transport Charva aboard so she can be taken to the proper authorities.
Alright. Team Chava aboard.
Welcome aboard. Is this the Tal Shiar prisoner?
Yes, this is Chava. I assume you want to find
This
into
way,
big.
please. I'll leave you to it.
I'm sorry it's come to this, Chava. I hope you can see now that Tasha isn't what brought you
No.
here.
They're doing what they can for our people. I was the one who failed to live up to their expectations. And you were the one who steered me wrong, just like Datan has done to you.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Time to go, Tovan.
Captain, Charva was a close friend, and we couldn't even convince her of our cause. We need to find something substantial to expose the Tal Shiar.
I'm afraid you might be right.
Charva's alive, but I expect she's going to face a lot of questions from intelligence. But if we couldn't change her mind, what'll it take to convince the Romulan people? How do we gather the proof we need? For now, we've done all we can. I recommend we leave the system before any Tal Shiar reinforcements arrive.
Indeed, let's go.
You've done commendable work exposing the duplicitous nature of the Tal Shiar, but there is still more work to be done in order to actually discover what they've been up to. It's a shame that Charva is resisting our efforts to turn her to our cause. Perhaps with enough time, She'll see the Tall Shar for the traitors to the Romulan people that they really are. In any event, you are proving to be a formidable addition to this fleet.
Indeed. So, we get the shield, the Singularity and the torpedo launcher, and some delivery motor as well. So, the Peng torpedo is a heavy torpedo and is unique. It does not do some weird things that normal torpedoes don't, and do not affect by stuff like torpedo high yield and torpedo spread. And that Protonic shield is a bulky shield, but has a low regen rate. So, it makes it better. See you guys next time.
Congratulations.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot one thing. Alright, now normally we don't cover emotes, but this time around we got the one of the prizes we got was actually emotes, so well, I just need to find it out. Because it's a fake. Yes, that's right. It's a we got the fake. It's a fake emote. I mean, most of the other stuff is well, unusual. Okay, that's that is basically it. We might set right, and we're going to have a drink before next time. So, see you guys next time.